Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May Brahman protect us. May divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace.
Shamama ki amar kalore, Shamama ki amar kalo, Shamama ki amar kalore, Shamama ki amar kalo. লোকে বলে কালি কালো, লোকে বলে কালি কালো, আমার মন তো বলে না কালো রে, শ্যামা কি আমার কালো। কালো রূপে দিগম্বরী, কালো রূপে দিগম্বরী, হৃদি পদ্ম করে মোর আলো রে, শ্যামা মা কি আমার কালো। কখনো শ্বেত, কখনো পীত, কখনো নীল লোহিতারে, কখনো শ্বেত, কখনো পীত, কখনো নীল লোহিতারে। আগে নাহি জানি কেমনি জননী, আগে নাহি জানি কেমনি জননী, ভাবিয়ে জনম গেল রে, শ্যামা মা কি আমার কালো। কখনো পুরুষ, কখনো প্রকৃতি, কখনো শূন্য রূপারে, কখনো পুরুষ, কখনো প্রকৃতি, কখনো শূন্য রূপারে। এ ভাবি ভাবিয়ে কমলাকান্ত, এ ভাবি ভাবিয়ে কমলাকান্ত, সহজে পাগল হলো রে, শ্যামা মা কি আমার কালো। লোকে বলে কালি কালো, আমার মন তো বলে না কালো রে, শ্যামা মা কি আমার কালো।
The summer was over, and the rain set in. The search for a job still went on. One evening, after a whole day's fast and exposure to rain, I was returning home with tired limbs and a jaded mind. Overpowered with exhaustion and unable to move a step forward, I sank down on the outer plinth of a house by the roadside. I can't say whether I was insensible for a time or not. Various thoughts crowded in on my mind, and I was too weak to drive them off and fix my attention on anything in particular. Suddenly I felt as if by some divine power the coverings of my soul were being removed, one after another. All my former doubts regarding the coexistence of divine justice and mercy, and the presence of misery in the creation of a blissful providence were automatically solved. By a deep introspection, I found the meaning of it all and was satisfied. As I proceeded homewards, I found there was no trace of fatigue in the body, and the mind was refreshed with wonderful strength and peace. The night was well nigh over. Thenceforth I became deaf to the praise and blame of worldly people. I was convinced that I was not born like ordinary people to earn money and maintain a family, much less strive for sense pleasures. I began secretly to prepare myself to renounce the world like my grandfather. I fixed a day for the purpose and was glad to hear that the master was to come to Calcutta that very day. It is lucky, I thought. I shall leave the world with the blessing of my Guru. As soon as I met the master, he pressed me hard to spend that night with him at Dakshineshwar. I made various excuses, but to no purpose. I had to accompany him. There was not much talk in the carriage. Reaching Dakshineshwar, I was seated for some time in his room along with others when he went into a trance. Presently he drew near me and, touching me with great tenderness, began to sing a song with tears in his eyes. I'm afraid to speak, and I'm afraid not to speak. The doubt arises in my mind lest I should lose you. Aha, my Rai, lest I should lose you. I had suppressed my feelings for so long, but now they overflowed in tears. The meaning of the master singing the song was apparent. He knew of my intentions. The audience marveled at this exchange of feeling between us. When the master regained his normal mood, some of them asked him the reason for it. He replied with a smile, "Oh, it was something between him and me." Then at night, he dismissed the others and, calling me to his side, and said, "I know you have come for the mother's work and won't be able to live a worldly life. But for my sake, stay in the world as long as I live." Saying this, he burst into tears again. The next day, with his permission, I returned home. 1,000 thoughts about the maintenance of the family assailed me. I began to look about again for a living by working in an attorney's office and translating a few books. I got just enough to live on, from hand to mouth, not permanent. There was no fixed income to maintain my mother and brothers. One day, the idea struck me that God listened to Sri Ramakrishna's prayers. So why should I not ask him to pray for me for the removal of my pecuniary needs? A favor the master would never deny me. I hurried to Dakshineshwar and insisted on his making the appeal on behalf of my starving family. He said, "My boy, I can't make such demands, but why don't you go and ask the mother yourself? All your sufferings are due to your disregard of her." I said, "I do not know the mother. You please speak to her on my behalf. You must." He replied tenderly, "My dear boy, I have done so again and again, but you do not accept her, so she does not grant my prayer. All right, it is Tuesday. Go to the Kali temple tonight, prostrate yourself before the mother, and ask of her any boon you like. It shall be granted. She is knowledge absolute, the inscrutable power of Brahman. By her mere will, she has given birth to this world. Everything is in our power to give. I believed every word and eagerly waited for the night. About 9 o'clock, the master asked me to go to the temple. As I went, I was filled with a divine intoxication. My feet were unsteady. My heart was leaping in anticipation of the joy of beholding the living goddess and hearing her words. I was full of the idea. Reaching the temple, as I cast my eyes on the image, I actually found that the Divine Mother was living and conscious, the perennial fountain of divine love and beauty. I was caught in a surging wave of devotion and love. In an ecstasy of joy, I prostrated myself again and again before the Mother and prayed, Mother, give me discrimination, give me renunciation, give me knowledge and devotion. Grant that I may have the uninterrupted vision of thee. A serene peace reigned in my soul. The world was forgotten. Only the Divine Mother shone within my heart.
Welcome to the Sunday service of the Vedanta Society of Toronto, being live streamed from Ramakrishna Vedanta Ashram, Pittsburgh. Today's topic is Kali, the mother of Ramakrishna. As Kali Puja, yesterday we had Kali Puja here in Pittsburgh, Vedanta Ashram, and tomorrow there's Kali Puja in Toronto, Vedanta Society. So the topic today was about the Kali, and just you heard the opening song, beautifully sung, Who is Mother Kali? So by Kamarakanta saying Mother Kali is not of black hue. We don't know. She's divine herself. There's no color in her. She is in many forms, many colors. She's all varied. That is what the Mother Kali is. Difficult to understand who is Mother Kali. Mother Kali was Sri Ramakrishna's not only goddess or deity, Sri Ramakrishna's mother herself was Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna was a unique phenomenon in this world, unique human being born. We say he's not just human being, he's God himself is born in this world. As his life so different, so unique from a normal human being, it shows. So Sri Ramakrishna had a so intimate relationship with the Divine Mother Kali. He was a priest of Kali. He worshipped Mother in the image. But unlike other priests, unlike other devotees, even unlike other sadhakas who pray to God and get the reply, the priest who worship Mother with all ingredients, with all mantras, with all rituals, and just perform the thing according to the system, ritualistic system, Sri Ramakrishna's relationship with Mother Kali was different. For him, Mother Kali was not just name in mother. She is real mother to Sri Ramakrishna. And she found herself to be the mother. And he says, this is my real mother. And that idea of motherhood of Mother Kali transcended as he grew in spiritual understanding of the divine more and more. And she, Mother Kali, not only became his mother, she was revealed to be the mother of whole universe. And not only that, Mother became very inseparable part of the life and existence of Sri Ramakrishna. Always being with her, with him. Mother was always with him, and she was the force which created this universe, force that sustained this universe, and force that acted upon everything, that all the actions going on in the universe was the force of Divine Mother Kali. So for Sri Ramakrishna, Kali was everything. The unique life of Sri Ramakrishna starts when he was very young, like 5 or 7 years old boy, in the village of Kamarpukur. How he was inclined to spiritual moods from here very birth. So that is shown how he liked the company of monks that were visiting Ganga Sagar from the north of India, north and east, western part of India. They used to go to Ganga Sagar via Kamarpukur, his village. They used to sit for discussion, and little Gadai used to go there. This Gadadhar, lovingly called Gadai, used to go there, listen to their discussion. Sometimes would put answers to their argument when they couldn't find, they couldn't resolve the argument. He used to give some suggestion, and it was perfect resolution for their argument. How this young boy could have such a wisdom to resolve the dispute or argument between great monks, so that was very unique. He used to listen to them. Other boys of his age were busy playing outside and all that, but he was so engrossed in his spiritual talks. He used to sing beautifully the devotional songs. He used to make images of the divine. And always he was somehow engrossed in the feeling of the divinity. That was Sri Ramakrishna from his very childhood. Once he was going alone through a paddy field, and he saw a flock of white cranes passing through the somber rain clouds, and he just fainted, unconscious. So the beauty of that contrast of white and black was so divine. It just crossed his earthly beauty of earthly existence, and it took him to the divine realm. And he lost all external consciousness and was merged in the beauty of God. Isn't God called Satyam Shivam Sundaram? The Sundaram aspect of God was so much with him that it absorbed Sri Ramakrishna, young Gadai of 5 or 7 years old. That was what Sri Ramakrishna. And gradually he was admitted to the school, local school in the village. And but he could not continue. And they all said, if you do not study well, how will you earn money? He said, studying, having knowledge just for earning money for the sake of livelihood is no knowledge at all. The young boy was saying so much words of wisdom that all were dumbfounded. He was in fact saying, quoting the Upanishadic things without quoting it. He was just echoing the Upanishadic teachings. Sa vidya ya vimuktaye. That is the real wisdom, real learning, real knowledge, which makes one free. The knowledge is not meant for livelihood. Real knowledge should give us much more than just living. It should enlighten our heart. That is the purpose of education. And he could not continue that regular learning of mathematics or language. Little he studied for a few months and said, I don't like this. Chal kola badha vidya, he used to say. The bread-winning education. The education meant only for livelihood. You earn this, you become a priest, or you have some skill, and you sell that skill and earn something to live in this world. I am not for that, he said. What a wisdom in that young boy. That was Sri Ramakrishna from his very birth. That's why we say he was not an ordinary human being. He was a phenomenon. So that's Sri Ramakrishna when he grew up and his father passed away. And so many incidents in the village. He was so much loved by the people because he had divine attraction of his purity, innocence, and tremendous love without finding any difference, any faults in others. Everyone to him was his own person, his own relative. And that his feeling towards others reflected from others towards him. People, the villagers used to come to see him, just to see Gadai. We want to see him. That love of divine love, as when the devotee feels attraction for God, people started feeling this to this boy without knowing anything about his extraordinary birth or extraordinary life, that he is going to preach, he's an incarnation. Without knowing that, the women is to flock to the mother of Gadai Chandramani Devi's house just to have a look at the Gadai. That Gadai had to come to Kolkata. His brother brought him, and he started doing something, some puja, something, helping his brother in his work. And one day, through the circumstances, his brother um, his brother got a job in a Kali temple. Kali temple, just newly built, he was appointed the first chief priest of Kali temple. And he was doing worship. Sri Ramakrishna's duty was to take care of the ornaments, decorate the deity. Nothing worship. His brother used to help his brother in worship in that way. Ram Kumar, his brother was. And after some time, Ram Kumar passed away untimely. Now the temple authority, which the temple belonged to a very rich person called Rani Rashmani, and his very wise and able son-in-law, Mathuranath Viswas. So they found in Sri Ramakrishna something very unique. So, and they asked him to take the responsibility of the worship of the Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna's love for mother had already developed, and he saw in the image, not the image of the sacred image of the deity, he started seeing living Ma Kali, Mother Kali, Divine Mother in that image. And he used to look at long time there. And when he became the priest and had to worship Mother after getting initiation into the worship, formal worship of the Mother, he started worshipping formally, but for very short time. After that, this formality was worn off, and informal, supreme para bhakti is developing. And he started worshipping the Divine Mother, because for him it was not formality, it was Divine Mother herself that he was worshipping. And he started feeling the living presence of the Divine. And he tried to test whether it is living or not, and he found mother breathing. He experimented whether it's breathing or not, and he could feel that mother is exhaling breath. That was the living presence. And yet Sri Ramakrishna had not yet seen the mother in his divine form. He had not spoken with her. He had not found her to be very intimate. He was longing to have the vision of mother, to see her real life experience of the divine presence. For that he went on praying, and mother was not revealing. Mother, reveal yourself to me. I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to feel your living presence. I know you are there, but please reveal to me. That beyond doubt, he had felt the presence of mother, but he had not experienced the living mother. And he was so mad to see the mother. And one day, his desire, yearning, it crossed all boundaries, and he felt his life would be worthless without seeing the mother. And in an ecstatic mood, he just grabbed the sword that was hanging on the wall of the Kali temple, the sword of the Divine Mother, and wanted to end his life. He said, what the life is worth if you don't have realization of God, if mother doesn't reveal, if you don't see mother, life is worthless. That was his attitude about the life, that life is meant to realize God. If God realization is not there, life has no meaning. The very later on he said, the purpose of life, the ultimate goal of life is to realize God. That he himself failed and grabbed the sword and was going to end his life. And mother now had was pleased with his all tapasya, all his austerity, longing, yearning for mother to reveal. How can mother live away from the child who is crying to mother to show herself up to him? And mother revealed herself in what form? Sri Ramakrishna doesn't know. It must be living, dazzling, radiant form of the loving, blissful Mother Kali. For him, the mother was not fearsome form with skull and blood dripping and long tongue coming out and a necklace of the garland of a skull. Nothing of that. It was pure, loving, blissful, radiant mother to Sri Ramakrishna. And at that moment, when all boundaries of his tapasya was his test by the mother was done, he succeeded in the test. Then he fell on the ground, and he saw the ocean of light and bliss that was coming to him. And it came in waves. Ocean just coming to him is just engulfed. Ocean after wave it came, and he was on the ground. He remembers only that he was submerged in the waves of the ocean of light and bliss. How long he remained in that subconscious state when he was unaware of the world, unaware of the body. Nothing he was aware of this. Everything was merged. And when he came out to the normal consciousness, normal plane of existence, he just said, Mother, Mother. He never described what he saw. Did he see the form of mother? He never said that. But he said it was an experience of ultimate bliss that he had. And without doubt, he knew that it was his own mother Kali that had shown him. And after this incident, he was never separated from Mother Kali. Mother Kali became inseparable divine mother to this divine child Ramakrishna. That was the relationship with divine Mother Kali. That was Swami Sri Ramakrishna and his mother divine, Mother Kali. After that, mother was playing. Mother became living. He would worship now, and he found sometimes no image, but real living mother standing there. And he used to go, instead of offering on some mantras, he used to take the food and go to her and feed her. Priests were saying, he had gone crazy. This Ramakrishna Gadadhar has become crazy. Ramakrishna Bhattacharya has become crazy and eating the image, sacred image of mother with food. But for Sri Ramakrishna, it was not image. It was the presence of the divine mother there. She was living there, present, smiling, radiant, and she was hungry as it were. Sri Ramakrishna felt that mother wants to eat. He would took some food and give to her in the image, and he used to feed with his own hand. Mother was living. And not only mother was that way, mother was, he started seeing mother as consciousness beyond image. She transcended the form and became formless, pure consciousness that fills the whole universe. His realization of mother went beyond the mother present in the temple. Mother now started being revealed outside the temple. In everything that he saw was divine mother. He had three types of vision of the mother. One was, she saw once in divine mother in the cremation ground, fearsome, dancing, laughing with the roar, and the pyre, the pyre, the cremation pyre was all around her, and she was mad with joy and dancing, fearsome form of divine mother. One was that Mother Kali has described, that she dances in the cremation ground. That he had the vision of real dancing mother in the cremation ground. He had other vision of the mother. Mother was not limited to be the living presence in the temple or dancing in the cremation ground. One day he saw, mother is whole universe, whole vast. Not only universe, this whole universe was within the mother. Galaxies, stars, planets, this our earth, including him, everything was within the mother. Mother was all pervading reality. This very existence is mother, and this universe is sustained by mother. That was his realization. There were other realization about the mother. Then he saw everything as mother. Sometimes he saw divine mother as a little girl wearing red sari coming to him, playing with him. She used to pull his cloth and she used to play, joke, laugh. That was mother became like a little girl. Once he saw mother was walking in the courtyard of the temple, and he looked there. He heard the jingling of anklets, and he looked. Oh, mother is walking there. She immediately went inside the temple, and he felt that she's climbing upstairs in the temple. And then he looked, and he found mother is there at the window in the second floor, and she's looking at the Ganga, her hair flowing, and she's sometimes looking at the Ganga towards the west, sometimes looking towards the east to Kolkata city. Mother's presence was that he was always with the Divine Mother. Mother never left him. If sometimes by chance he was separated for a little time with mother, it was a great agony for him. He used to just cry, Mother, Mother, please reveal where have you been? And he used to rub his mouth, his face on the ground. I want to see you. Don't go away from me, oh mother. And he used to bleed by leaving his face on the ground. And as he used to call Divine Mother Kali, just addressed as Mother, people thought he is thinking about his own mother who lives in Kamarpukur and is tired of living alone here. It was not that way. People didn't understand him that his agony was the divine agony. It is divine restlessness, and Mother next moment revealed. How did she reveal? She revealed as everything in the world. She transcended her form and revealed herself as the formless reality. But she also revealed that every object and every form in the world is she. She has become every form. One day, he saw a wicked man, and he said, I see the mother's force, mother's power pulsating in him. Another, he saw a bad woman, and he said, I saw that also is a form of mother. Mother transcended good and bad. All is her creation. In all her creation, she is there. Tat srishtva, tat eva anupravishata. This is said in the Vedas that after creating this universe, the divine entered into everything in the universe. There is no good and bad, as we were reading. The reading today was there from Swami Vivekananda's expression of how he felt so much of injustice. He was not getting a job. So much of trouble was going on. The one who loved him, always his friends, deserted him when he was in trouble. And finally, he was tired, searching for a job, getting nowhere, people changing. And he sat there. Suddenly, he felt that layer after layer, the ignorance were removed from his soul. And he found that world as it is with all its dualities is perfect world. World means this, good and bad, mixture of justice and injustice, good and bad. Otherwise, it won't be world at all. He said, this is perfect, the world as it is. It should be that way. That's how it is created. His mind became one with the Divine Mother that day itself, not when he went to Sri Ramakrishna to ask for Mother Kali, that was late. So that day itself he felt Mother is all, in good and bad, in ugly and in beautiful. It is all Divine Mother's creation. Sri Ramakrishna had that. Not only that, Sri Ramakrishna, one day dog was coming and he said, let me wet. I think God wants to say something through this dog. Someone was, God will speak through dog. Yes, you don't know. God can speak through anyone. He speaks through dog, through anyone. He was once walking on the bank of Ganga. Suddenly he bowed down to Ganga. Other people who were there, what are you doing? He said, I saw Mother in the form of Ganga. The whole river, Mother is flowing. That is the Divine Mother for him. You can imagine how the Mother became all-pervading creation. Nothing was separate from him from Mother. Day and night he was immersed in Mother. He used to talk about mother whenever people came, and he used to see mother, and at night he used to sleep. Perhaps he dreamt of mother. Mostly he must have dreamt of mother. He was inseparable from his mother. Once Holy Mother was taking care of him, and Holy Mother asked Sri Ramakrishna, "How do you look upon me?" He was wife of Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother said, "The one who is I worship in the temple as Mother Kali, the one who is in Nahabat, who gave birth to this body, his own biological mother, and the one who is taking care of me here, you, all are one, same divine mother, without doubt, without separation." That was the vision of Sri Ramakrishna. Nothing to him was separate from divine mother. That mother became everything, and in all it was mother for him. So in all good and bad, it was mother. So nothing, that's why nothing touched him. Everything was blissful for him. Anybody criticizing him, he didn't mind at all. People praising, it became nothing for him, because it was all mother expressing in different way his own loving divine mother in many forms. One day, Bhairavi Brahmani came and he said, "I want to teach you something of the Tantra." "Okay, mother." She felt that mother has said, divine mother has said, whatever mother said, because he started talking with mother, asking with mother, and mother always replied to her what to do and what to reply, what to ask, everything. He was to argue with mother, divine mother, Mother Kali. He was to crack jokes with mother. He used to dance with mother in love of mother. Mother became constant, eternal, constant companion of his life. His life was fully immersed and has become one with mother. And Bhairavi Brahmani taught all 64 Vaishnava Tantras to him, not teaching in the class, practical of all 64 Vaishnava Tantra. Any sadhaka would do one Tantra, and for him it will take many years, and he gets perfection and done. Life is done. For him, one after another, all 64 Vaishnava Tantras he practiced, taught by a Bhairavi Brahmani, brought by the will of the Divine Mother. So he became perfect in all the tantras, realized God, realized Mother, and said, Mother can be realized through any path. Then after that comes many other teachers came, some Rama devotee, some Krishna devotee came, some. Then comes Totapuri. He says, would you like to practice Vedanta? And he said, let me go and ask Mother. So she thought he's a grown-up man. How he's going to ask for? I can see his face glowing, and he's fit to study and practice Vedanta, which can be done with so much of adhikari. Vidivat adhivata veda Vedanta tvena samadhi satka sampatti, and all that you should have viveka vairagya mumukshutta samadhi satka sampatti. So many qualities one should have to practice Vedanta. And without tasting anything, just he saw that Totapari saw Sri Ramakrishna, and he could realize he was himself a God realized person. He said, this is the perfect person. He can realize Brahman, the absolute, if it is little ignited. And he said, do you want to study Vedanta, practice Vedanta? He said, let me ask my mother. Nothing he did without asking mother. And what he did, he went, and Totapuri smiled. He's going to ask his mother. He's like a child. Yes, he was a child of mother, but this mother was not Chandramani Devi. This mother was Mother Kali, always a child of mother. He went to the temple and asked, and Totapuri was looking from the heart of the Ganga near the temple, Chandni it's called. And then Sri Ramakrishna came, beaming, smiling. He said, yes, yes, I will study and practice Vedanta under you, with you. And mother told me, it is for you I have brought the teacher. So you have come by the will of my mother. Please let us practice Vedanta. Now this Vedanta sadhana started. Now, Vedanta says, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, the God is formless, and we have to go beyond this form, name, form, ego. You have to transcend everything and merge in the absolute reality. And he was trying to do that. Totapuri said, now meditate on Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am not body, I am not mind, I am not pranas, I am not intellect, I am not ahankara, I am Brahman. Meditate on that Aham Brahmasmi. Sri Ramakrishna went into deep meditation. And when he was meditating, his mind went and had the vision of Divine Mother, resplendent, smiling, happy, living presence. And he said to Totapuri that my mother comes, the form, dazzling, radiant form, my living presence, always I'm with mother. How can I transcend that form? She is everything for me. Totapuri said, what are you saying? Form is also an obstruction in the realization of ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is beyond form. And he meditated again. The form came, mother came. He said, no way, I can give up that form. My dearest mother, I cannot give up that form. That is all in all for me. That is everything for me. Totapuri said, what are you saying? You are studying Vedanta, you are now a sannyasin. And he found, searching something, he found a broken glass and pressed that glass corner into between his eyebrows and then said, now you meditate on this pain. Sri Ramakrishna started meditating on the pain inflicted by his Guru Totapuri. And again the mother came, blissful, radiant, smiling. And then he says, Sri Ramakrishna said, as Totapuri has said, form is also not complete realization of the God. God is with form and without form. And then he says, I used knowledge as the sword, knowledge that God is Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Satchit Ananda Swarupa, beyond name, beyond form. Avang Manasa Gocharam, that knowledge he had already from sadhus. He had not read the books. He had all the knowledge he got from the scholars, sadhus, sannyasins, and from his own guru. And then he said, I used knowledge as the sword and cut the form into two. And my mind soared in a leap to that individual Satchidananda, formless, and merged in that. Totapuri was trying, he will have this Ramakrishna will try to do that, he will fail, and again he will have to practice. Suddenly he sees Sri Ramakrishna is already immersed into formless Brahman. And that went, that night went, next day, next evening, and Totapuri said, it took 40 years for me to realize this formless aspect of the Supreme Brahman, and this is here in 3 days of his practice, he reaches that ultimate state. What a great, great grace of God. He said that, and after that he brought him down to the normal plane. After this realization of the ultimate reality of Mother, he had some realization. And then his realization was that Brahman and Mother Kali were inseparable. The Kali, when at rest, she is called Brahman. When Brahman is in action, he is called Kali. Kali and Brahman are same. The God with form and God without form are same. God can be worshipped with form and without form. Not that one is real and another is unreal. Both are equally real. That was the time that when many people came to him, to Sri Ramakrishna, people came with a curiosity, with people. Some were filled with Western rationalism, some were very Vedantist and inquiry. All different kinds of Vaishnavas came, Christians came, and Muslims came. All came to Sri Ramakrishna. And his wisdom was so great that he found what says he speaks was supplied by the Divine Mother Kali. After the realization of formless aspect of the divine, for him Mother Kali was not irrelevant. Mother Kali became more relevant after this realization. Mother always remained Mother, and she started giving him what to speak. She was to guide. meet that person and speak that. Otherwise, how would he go to meet some great scholars like Dayananda Saraswati came to visit Calcutta, very famous man, founder of Arya Samaj, wonderfully recognized. Keshav Chandra Sen, leader, spiritual leader of the time, who was recognized even by Queen Victoria of England, great orator. He met Keshav Sen and everyone, and Vidyasagar was a great acclaimed person, socially very high status, educationist, and not very devoted to God with form. And in fact, he had become little atheist, but great Sanskrit scholar. He had studied many shastras, many things, but somehow some incident made him, some thought made him that he had doubt on the existence of God. Sri Ramakrishna went to meet all. He went to meet Maharshi Devendranath Tagore. All things, inspired by the Divine Mother. He was never shy of meeting great, famous person. He was just a priest. People had just started recognizing him as some used to say he's a great sadhaka who had realized Divine Mother. Some said he's a devotee of Mother. Some said he is a, very few said he is a really incarnation of God. But he used to go and meet all known, famous, highly reputed person, all by the power of the Divine Mother, whose child he was. And he influenced everyone. Everyone was influenced by him. And Tutapuri, he said, was eager to waiting for Keshav Sen. But he met Maharshi Devendranath Tagore, very high status, father of father of Rabindranath Tagore, Maharshi Devendranath Tagore. Very high social status as, as one of the leaders of the then very powerful religious movement called Brahmo Samaj, Adi Brahmo Samaj. So that was Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna's mother became a whole guiding force. And we know that how people came, disciples came, those who found him, and in him they found solace of their life. Some were tired and weird of their life, and they thought of life is not worthless living, so complex, so troublesome. They came, they found a meaning, that life has a meaning. God realization is the goal. There is joy if we can live life in a right way. You have to just turn the way from the worldliness to the divine. Life has a great meaning. Human life is attained of God by the grace of God, great blessing of God. That's what the human life means. Sri Ramakrishna became Mother Kali for his disciples. And people started seeing him as not only as the child of Divine Mother, as Mother Kali herself in Sri Ramakrishna. When he was sick and was in Kashipur, all arrangements were made for worship of Mother Kali. But there was no deity, Kali temple was not nearby. There was a nearby Siddheshwari Kali. But some devotees came, Girish Ghosh came, and he said, but where is the deity to worship? They said, let us worship Kali in Sri Ramakrishna. He is Kali manifested as human being. And they worshipped that Sri Ramakrishna as Mother Kali with the articles, and Sri Ramakrishna was sitting there accepting all the worship. Swami Kripamayananda, the great monk of our order, and Holy Mother's disciple, highly realized soul, God realized person. He knew who was whom. And he said he knew who Sri Ramakrishna was. And he used to say, Sri Ramakrishna is really God. Sometimes we must have heard in Sarvapriyananda's talk that Suitanandaji served him. And he used to call Suitanandaji and said, come, I have to say you a very profound, top secret thing. And he used to go, and Sritanandaji knew because he had already told many times the secret thing. He knew what he's going to say, but he never revealed that you have already told Maharaj. He was Premasanandaji was old man, always in ecstasy. He was always in divine ecstasy. And he called Sritananda, his own attendant, a brahmachari at that time, and he said, you know, there's no doubt that Sri Ramakrishna is God himself. Oh, okay, Maharaj, Sritananda said. He had done many times that thing. And he used to say, Sri Ramakrishna is God. Sri Ramakrishna is Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna is, in fact, bearded Mother Kali. Sri Ramakrishna is some sport beard, no? He is bearded Mother Kali. Dadiwala Kali. She used to say that. There's no difference between the mother and the child. That Sri Ramakrishna was. Mother chose Sri Ramakrishna to reveal herself for the good of the humanity and to have dharma chakra pravartana, to make the dharma, the spirituality, to give a new turn to the spirituality suitable for the time through Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was born for that purpose, born by the will of the Divine Mother for that purpose. And when there is incarnation of God, they all come by the will of the Divine Mother. It is the Mother Divine who has to take care of her creation. And she has to bring that great power in the form of living human being in flesh and blood. For them, the universe, this humanity is influenced most. Not the scriptures in the book, not the talking, but if there is living person in flesh and blood who just exudes the truth of the spirituality, it becomes very effective. And that's how the avatara had to come to help the Divine Mother to sustain this universe in from time to time. That's why Sri Krishna said, I have to come back, come time to time. To dharma sansthapanarthaya, to re-establish the dharma, to put the dharma chakra pravartana, because he has to give new things to the dharma, because in this time it flows, the time makes changes. And the teachings also have to be said in a new way to suit the people of new age. That is how the creation is made, wonderfully changing thing. And that's what Jesus said, that old wine in the new bottle, that has to be there. The new teaching, Sri Ramakrishna also said. And Sri Ramakrishna, through Sri Ramakrishna, who is the God himself, Mother Kali himself came in the flesh and blood, and he brought some wonderful teaching of spirituality. The world had become too much materialist. Doubt had crept whether God exists or not, whether God is just an invention for of the voice. Some people who wanted to keep society intact, giving said, "Oh, God will be angry if we do not do that. There will be sin." Is it there, or God is real presence is there? The Creator God is there. Sri Ramakrishna said, when Narendranath, a symbol of doubt, of presence of God, or who wanted really to prove that God exists, came representing all of us who have not seen God and said, "Sir, have you seen God?" Directly he asked him, because he wanted to find a person who can see, I have seen God. Then he will believe that God is really there. If he's there, there must be someone. I have not seen God, but there must be someone who has seen God. Unless I find one person who has seen God, then what is the proof that God exists? Swami Vivekananda represented Western rationalism. Very rational he was. He didn't believe in God with form, that how that all pervading reality can have a represented by one form. So he was in that, grew up in that Brahma Samaj who rejected the worship of God with form in the statues. Sri Ramakrishna said, "Yes, my child, I see God." And he didn't stop there. He said, "If you want, I can make you see God." That, he said, it was a great thing for Swami Vivekananda. It was his hankering that God has to be seen, that he had already felt. He never gave up worship and prayer to God from his childhood. In all his calamities, difficulties, poverty, he always prayed to God. That was there through his, samskara, it was there. And he just wanted to prove someone has seen God. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "But who wants to see God? People cry for the relations and for the objects of the world. They don't shed even a drop of tear for God. If people would cry for God, God would reveal. God is ready to reveal. He's so close." As the Divine Mother was close to him like breath. He was very real to him, like his, like the person we see, like his name, like his heartbeat. That was the Divine Mother for Mother Kali for Sri Ramakrishna. And one day, as we were in the reading, it was there. Swami Vivekananda was in dire poverty and came to Sri Ramakrishna and said, "Please pray for me." And he said, "Why should I pray? It is not that I have not prayed. I have prayed many times for you. Sri Ramakrishna used to cry from Narendranath. One day some people came and to those just the visitors, just the guests, and said, can you find a job for Naren? He's not getting job. Naren was very embarrassed. Why have to tell unknown? I don't know them. Why will they find job for me? He just rebuked to Sri Ramakrishna later on. Why you have to say for me to those people who had come to you? For some other person, they want to listen to you, they want to find joy in you, and you are giving some joy for my sake. He said, what can I do, Naren? I can go from house to house for your sake. Don't I know how you are suffering, how your family is suffering? He cried and said to Narendra, that much he loved. And when Naren said, can you pray for me? He said, I have prayed so many times to Divine Mother. And Mother not listening to him. God knows what is their play between the son and the Divine Mother, his mother, God knows. Because everything Sri Ramakrishna said, Mother, listen. But this prayer, I don't know what is, she doesn't listen. But Sri Ramakrishna found out why Mother is not listening when he prayed for Narendranath. He said, because you do not accept her. That's why Mother doesn't listen to my prayer. So today, can you go and pray for me? Why should I pray? You go and pray. But she listens to you, said Narendra. Today you go, it is an auspicious day, it is a Saturday, and go and pray. And if you pray, Mother will grant you, will give you whatever you ask for from her. And Narendranath went, as we heard in the ecstasy, at 9 o'clock at night, and saw Mother revealed to him. You see, Sri Ramakrishna had to do so much sadhana, so much of practice, rubbing his face on the ground and doing yearning, crying to her, Mother revealed to me, Mother revealed to me. Narendranath goes very first day, very first time, and Holy Divine Mother is there in all her glory, in all her life. And Narendranath was dumbfounded, was in ecstasy, forgot to ask what for he has come. He was filled with the bliss. Comes back to Sri Ramakrishna, very happy, very blissful. So Sri Ramakrishna could understand there is something different. And he said, did you remember to ask what you had to ask? Oh, I forgot. I saw Mother, what to ask. So much of joy was there, everything. He forgot himself. Mother revealed as Sri Ramakrishna had forgotten himself and he was submerged in the ocean of that divine blissful light. Swami Vivekananda also totally forgot about himself, his ego, everything. He was filled with the bliss of the divinity, of the reality of God. He had the vision of Mother. He had the realization of Divine Mother. That's another time Sri Ramakrishna asked, go and ask. And the third time when he went, he remembered to ask. He says, what to ask for? Money, food, cloth, from Mother, coming to such a great glory, who creates the universe, who is the empress of the universe, to ask for that. Rather, let me ask something that she can grant. And he asked for Viveka, Vairagya, and he has asked for Bhakti and Jnana, and uninterrupted vision, your vision. Why did he ask her? He never said that I had the vision of Divine Mother, Mother Kali. He said, what I have realized, it will die, the secret will die with me. But he spilled the secret here in his prayer. He said, what did I pray? I prayed for her uninterrupted vision. How this uninterrupted vision came? That means he had already a vision of Mother. When he had this time, he had the vision of Divine Mother as Mother herself, as all-pervading reality, as Supreme Brahman, as the form, dazzling, radiant, blissful Divine Mother, who is the source of all creation, action of this world, all thoughts and action of this world is nothing but that Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna's mother, Divine Mother was that. So, to treat Sri Ramakrishna in Kashipur and in Kashipur in Garden House and Shampukur, Dr. Sarkar used to come. And Dr. Sarkar was that Western rationalist. He also didn't believe in Mother Kali. And that time, because of some thought, says Mother Kali is the worshipped by the people who just believe in image worship, have no great spirituality, have no philosophical bent of mind. And he asked him, he still worships Mother Kali? Yam said, he worships Mother Kali, but who is Mother Kali? Do you know for him? For him, Mother Kali is the supreme Brahman. What others call Allah and the Father in heaven and Jesus, he calls him Mother Kali. Mother Kali is not different from the Brahman. He has the full knowledge of the Para Brahman. He established his Paramahamsa. His Mother Kali is not just the worship of Divine Mother in image. His Mother Kali is all pervading reality beyond this. Didn't he pray to Divine Mother? Mother, here is your righteousness, here is the unrighteousness. Take them both and grant me devotion to thy lotus feet. Mother, here is your dharma, here is adharma. Take that both. Here is your good and here is your ugly. Take them both and grant me devotion to thy lotus feet. What matters is only devotion to thy lotus feet. And he said, I offered her everything. But I couldn't offer him truthfulness because Sri Ramakrishna came to for Dharma Chakra Parivartana, for re-establishing Dharma in this age that is suitable to us. One was that God is reality. He can be realized by anyone with pure heart and yearning. If you yearn for God, God reveals, that is truth. He or she is ready to reveal itself to us. One of that is truth. And he says, in your life, you have to be moral and hold on to truthfulness in your life. That will lead us to God. And he said, this material attachment is not the real joy. Real joy is realizing God. Ultimate goal of human life is to realize God. And that can come from renunciation. And that was the glory he showed, renunciation, truthfulness, and love of God, ultimate way to show that, to do to the world. He said, I have done 16 annas, I have done 100%. If you do one anna, 1/16th in your life, you will achieve, you will have God realization. He said to the people, God is reality, and that can be achieved through simplicity, through yearning, through high morality and ethical values, by loving all, not finding fault with others, and by being constantly repeating his or her name, God's name, and feeling the presence of the divine in your life. Always trying to be connected with the divine, you will one day realize God. That was the divine mother for Sri Ramakrishna, who is the mother of this universe, who is with form, with beyond form, the song said, and that's what other saints said, Kali Brahma, Jene Morma, Dharma Sab Chedesi. I know what is Kali, one says. Kali is Brahman. I know that truth. And having known this truth, this marma, now dharma and adharma is beyond. I have given up all. What is good, what is righteous, all have given. I have given all that, said one of the poets, Ram Prasad had said that way. So what Ram Prasad worshipped mother as the living presence, he also realized the mother. But Sri Ramakrishna, divine mother, was constant companion. He was one with mother. He was immersed in mother. He had become the divine mother. Such devotion, such merging with the divine and playing in this world the life of a devotee and the teacher is not seen earlier. Earlier, all the great acharyas, great incarnation, they taught about God. But this life presenting, being one with the divine, one with the divine mother, is unique in Sri Ramakrishna's life. That's why it's called a phenomenon. I cannot describe whether it's a devotee or a sadhaka or incarnation or nothing. It goes beyond that. It's just a phenomenon. It's just a being in that way, indescribable. That is what Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda said, he is a avatar of Varishta. And Swami Sharadananda, another of his direct disciples, said, he is Acharyanam Mahacharyo. He is the greatest of the Guru. He came to guide, to teach, to show us the way. That is the life of this wonderful child of the Divine Mother. And Sri Ramakrishna, for whom Kali was always the mother, always present, always with him, always he revealed his own divine mother in his life through his actions, through his experience and ecstasy, and through his wonderful teachings, life teachings, which we find in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Thank you very much. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Mahamai Ki Jai. Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Buddha Ki Jai. Jai Isha Musha Ki Jai. Sarvastaratu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarvasad Buddhimabnotu Sarvatra Nandatu. Hari Om Tat Sat. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us.